Let me recognize the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Arrington, to inquire.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And as my colleague mentioned, we have to solve this issue. The question is how best to solve the issue so that we don't create greater problems, more problems for our families and for our country. And I've heard and I've read many times that women with children as a demographic desire that we as Congress work together. That is, they desire bipartisanship and unity, and they sort of reject the gridlock and hyperpartisanship that our country has seen all too many times. I just want to test that and see if that's the case with our witnesses. So if Ms. Gonzalez, do you agree, yes or no, that it's better when our country works together, our nation's leaders, Republican and Democrat, to solve problems like the ones that we're talking about today with respect to family leave and child care, et cetera? Ms. Gonzalez, yes or no? Ms. Gonzalez?
Would the gentlelady unmute, please?
Ms. Spencer? Ms. Spencer,
Can
yes?
you hear me?
Yes.
Ms. Spencer,
Yes.
yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Brodiga, yes or no?
Yes.
Bethany, yes or no?
I don't believe it's a yes or no question, but if I had to answer with yes or no, I would say yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Neitzel? You think it's best if we can
choose
work together to
universal.
solve problems in a bipartisan fashion, better for our country?
Choose universal paid family leave over bipartisanship, but do what you need to do.
Okay, well, the majority of folks seem to want us to work together, and I would encourage my colleagues, we've done it in the past, and I would say to the witnesses, we worked together through this tough time for the country. We've worked together in good faith to provide assistance to help people through this tough time, unprecedentedly tough time, to get our small businesses like you, Ms. Neitzel, small business owners, the help they need in PPP, to provide families paid medical leave and family leave through this tax credit. We've done a lot of things together as Americans first, not Republicans or Democrats, and I think we should continue to forge ahead in that manner, and I think the outcome is generally better when we do that, and I think the witnesses, for the record, the witnesses, I think, agree with that, and I'm not trying to put words in their mouth. I think, before COVID, we had one of the best economies we've ever had in the history of our country. We saw women, we saw lower unemployment at all ages and backgrounds and races. We had wages up, all races, backgrounds, and ages of women. Ms. Neitzel, we were off the charts. We were booming and hitting on all cylinders, and we had more jobs than people at one time. This was pre-COVID. Was that your experience as well? Because it seemed like women were making having a better way in terms of business and growth in that season, just prior to COVID.
Pre-COVID, women were still making 89 cents to a man's dollar in the city of Seattle, and Black women, brown women, trans women were making far less than that. So we had a long way to go before COVID, and
well,
we still have a long way.
the data shows that women had higher wages, and folks at the lower income spectrum had the highest increase in wages. And small businesses were doing better because people had more money in their pockets. They were spending, and folks like you, small business owners, 2/3 of small businesses are started by women, and we're at 40% ownership for females in business. But I'd like to think that not having high taxes, not having the cost of regulations that are disproportionately borne by small businesses is a good thing. And so as we look to solve this, and it's a real issue, and I just think we have to consider the state's role. We need to consider markets and their ability, if we can create the right incentives, to give choices and flexibilities to small business owners and to families. And that's the way I think we ought to approach it. That would be my 2 cents, Mr. Chairman, and I yield back.